All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on MMAUnhinged. Today we're joined by Cameron Hardy, pro MMA bantamweight. How's it going?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much for asking. I called you bantamweight there, and it was your first time at dropping to bantamweight in your last fight. So talk to us about how that experience was, getting down to 135 pounds for the first time.
To be honest with you, it went nice and smooth. I had D Kirk do my nutrition for me. He was just a message away if I ever had a problem, and he was perfect. But to be fair, it just went smooth sailing. I knew I was a 135 because it got to the point where my 145 fight, I didn't even have to salt bath. So I just knew that I would be probably bigger and better at 135. And obviously, when you look at some of the featherweights, especially when you start looking at UFC and stuff like that, some of them are absolutely massive. So, and I'm not that big, so I knew bantam would be perfect for me.
So with your next fight, I saw you were meant to fight Josh Reed, and that was bantamweight also. So
Yeah,
your indefinite home is that bantamweight?
yeah, 100%, 100%. I didn't even, I only had like a little bit more of a cut on the morning of the weigh in, and I was absolutely fine. So I know that bantam weight's for me.
I know you went to the PI recently with over to the corner with Davey Grant. Did that help you out a little bit to see where you were at?
Yeah, it did. Like you say, we went out there, and even training with Davey Grant day in day out. That helps me sort of see where I'm at as well, and like the level that I'm at. But the experience of like using the PI facilities and just seeing all like it was sort of like your role models just walking around, and it was good. It was a very very good experience. That.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Is how the experience over there in Fight Week. Experience a UFC Fight Week, and as you mentioned there, seeing your role models walking around. So that must have been surreal for you.
Oh, it was unreal. I tell you one funny one as well is me and Davey, we were doing like our little final bit in fight camp together, and we had the rave blasting. Obviously, you live up near Newcastle now, you know what the rave's like.
Yeah, yeah,
We had
yeah,
the
yeah.
rave blasting, and then you just had Forrest Griffin coming out, fist bumping about, and it was just,
Oh,
you know what I mean? It was just Forrest Griffin coming out, casually fist bumping to a bit of rave. It was funny, it was good. But like you said, like over there, like you just like, I don't know, I was a bit more focused, just being out there in the facilities, all like, and it sort of like it lets you see what you can achieve as well. Do you know what I mean? It gives you a little insight into what you can have, and it just gives you that little bit more of a push.
so while you were out there, did you have a go? At the machines. I know they've got a lot of equipment out there. Did you have a go? Like, where they told you about your body fat and all that, etc. Did you have a go on
No,
them?
I didn't do none of that. Me and Davey we had this one where we were flying knee in this machine to see who had the hardest flying knee or something like that. That we had a little bit, and then we were constantly using the recovery room. So I had like your ice bath, jacuzzi, sauna, and that was key. That like just constantly using that every day, especially when you start coming up to fight week and stuff like that. It was unreal.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had like a flying machine, like flying knee machine. That's
Well,
kind of.
it was just like a pad. You could punch it, you could spin kick it,
Oh,
you could,
okay.
do you know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
you just hit it, and it tells you like how much power you had or whatever it was.
So when you look back at that experience and going over there, does that kind of put a smile on your face and be like, yeah, that's where I want to be in the future?
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, like it just gives you that little extra push because it's like I can have this. So like you go like I was coming back like right. Do you know what I mean? This it's not that far away as well. Like a lot of people go from Cage Warriors to UFC, so the fact that it's not far away and it just gives you that little extra push to sort of get where you want to be.
Moving away from your MMA career, I knew that you were in the Royal Navy for a bit, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I've done 6 years in the Royal Navy. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like to juggle the Royal Navy in your MMA career?
So I think I had my first two amateur fights whilst I was what you call shore base. So I wasn't on a ship, but I was based in the base in Portsmouth.
Mhm.
So that's when I was going down to Gym 01 all the time with Brian Adams. That's where my MMA probably kicked off. Then I went to it. It was quite hard in the sense like I was going away, then coming back as well, and like you sort of get a bit of skill fade. But for me, like especially striking, I was sound. I can come back, get a bit of striking in for a week or two. That's the cobwebs off. But for me, it was the jiu-jitsu missing little bits and stuff like that in the jiu-jitsu. That's what got me But then I went on the Navy boxing team. I was on there for 2 years, and I think that's when I got on my 6-fight win streak, when I was on the Navy boxing team, because I was just training full time with them and then just going to my MMA on the night as well. So it was perfect.
Well, that was pretty much my next question. Is that, how did you get into mixed martial arts? Because I know in the Royal Navy, I'm not too sure if I'm correct, you've got to learn a little bit of martial arts. And as you mentioned there, they've got a boxing team.
Yeah, so to be fair, MMA isn't recognised. And I was quite fortunate to get on the boxing team because all the lads were better boxers than what I was. But I knew quite a lot of them, and I just managed to sort of like get on there to like sort of help me towards a PT course. So it was one of my PO's friends. He knew that he went to an MMA gym, and it just happened to be Gym 01, which was obviously fantastic for me. And then that's how it started. I'd done like Thai boxing, a bit of jiu-jitsu and stuff before I joined, but never saw the MMA. And it was through a friend of my boss that I got into it.
So how do you actually get onto the Royal Navy team? Do you have to be like a decent level boxer, or you just apply?
Yeah, like some, like you can go to trials, you have boxing fights, and then you can get picked up for it and stuff like that. But like some of the lads on there, they like some of them have like been on GB, they've won ABA titles, they won this title, they won that title. Like
Yeah.
I would never have got away with being an elite boxer on the Navy boxing team, but I was like there as like helping out with the development lads and stuff like that. Sometimes work in the corner, and just like being in with the training with them all. So I was quite fortunate.
Yeah, I'm actually amazed by this because I didn't think, I know the Royal Navy did like, did a little bit of combat, but an actual boxing team, that's the first I've heard. They probably do it all around the world. Is it like Navy versus Navy, or do you just fight regular guys?
So when you're on the actual Navy boxing team, you don't fight, and it's obviously part of Marines as well. Marines are part of the Navy. So you can fight for your base. So like the
Yeah.
actual Royal Navy boxing teams, like the Premier League, and then
Mm-hmm.
you've got like all the bases that'll box each other. Then the like sort of like other parts of the country will box each other. But then that's how you get picked for the Navy boxing team. Like they're the proper team. So you can box like Navy v Navy, but when you're on the top, it's then Navy versus RAF versus Army, which is the
Wow.
combined services. Which then, if you win that, you then go into the ABAs.
That's incredible. That's fantastic to hear. So how good was Portsmouth in your base?
I enjoyed Portsmouth. It was especially in the summer. Down south is it's a different world in the summer compared to up north. It still fucking rains up here, done it every day. But yeah, I enjoyed it, mate. It was like I had like especially with the Gym 01, I got on so well with everyone down there. I had like my little family with the MMA. I had the Navy boxing lads. We used to stay down a lot of the weekends because they were in the same boat as me with the fighting. So we didn't want to go home all the time. So we'd just be like going to like our favorite coffee shops and stuff like that. It was a real good time, to be honest. When we think back now, we all realized how blessed we were to have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So now we look at your Navy career. And this is my last question with your Navy. Have you got any cool experiences that you could tell us, like while you're out at sea, or maybe when you were stationed?
Yeah, I done 7 months around the Gulf of Med. Oh, we had some mad times there. There used to be like a few of us. We used to just treat it like a lad's holiday every time we got somewhere. So it was like Bahrain, Doha, Suda Bay, Gibraltar. I got bitten by a monkey in Gibraltar. I've
Wow.
had I've had drinks with Saudi Arabian princes in Bahrain. We've had donkey races up one of the wonders of the world. We've done all sorts. Like we've had our fair share.
Yeah. So when you go to these different countries, do you like dock at I say a dock? Like, is it just stop at a dock?
Yeah, so we'll just dock up somewhere, and then you'll maybe get say 3 4 days. One of the days you'll have to be duty. Some days you might have to work, but then we always made the most of it on a night like.
And I presume you have a little bit of a curfew.
Well, you have to be at work the next day, but there's a few of us definitely turned up to some funny old states at work the next day, like.
I can imagine, as we can see on the screen, party hardy. So it shows that you like to have a little bit of a drink.
Yeah, that's where the names come from, Party Addy. Don't get me wrong, like I still like a good drink and that now, but when it like with my fighting, when it comes to my fighting, I'll just knock it on the head for the total of like 6, 8, 10 weeks, depending on how fit and how active I've been and stuff like that. Win, lose or draw, I'm out after a fight. Just because I appreciate the lads have travelled all over the country for me to come and watch me fight, so it'd be rude for me not to go out with them after. Don't get me wrong, it's not the same celebrating as what it is to when you lose. It's definitely a much earlier night. But yeah, and like I love my festivals, love my music, stuff like that. So it suits, it definitely suits.
So you talked about where you've been in the Royal Navy and where you've drunk after a winner and a loss. So where is the best place you've had a drink? I presume Newcastle's got to be up there because I when I moved up, it was different level up here.
Mate, you know what it is? Every time I go to Newcastle, for some reason, I just can't remember my night out. It's just always mental. It's just always mental. I remember my first pro fight in Birmingham. We had an absolute mental night out there as well. That was mad. Portsmouth, we've had a mad night out there when all the lads could. Anywhere my lads go, it's a mad night out. They could make it a mad night in a pub with no music. Do you know what I mean? They're mental. So no matter where we go, it's always good. Like, yeah, and you know, like my fans, they do make a good noise. They do make a good noise everywhere they go.
Yeah, is it a fantastic? That's what you want in it. You want a little bit of atmosphere wherever you go. You know, a little bit of Is there football involved with your mates as well?
Yeah, not so much me. I don't get me wrong. I'll support Rangers. I've got them tattooed on my chest, but I don't love football as much. A lot of them, a few of them are football, but a few of them are not. So it's not too bad between our group of football, to be honest with you.
So heading back towards your MMA career, after the Wooden fight, you were scheduled to fight Josh Reed, and that eventually fell through. You had to pull out with injury. If you don't mind me asking, what was the eventual injury?
I snapped a tendon in my thumb. So my thumb, so like I'd done it, and my thumb was stuck like that. Like so, I'd like go to pull it up like this, and it just go ping straight back. And like I thought it was all like I was still hitting pads and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously in your glove, it's like it was all right making a fist. So I was still hitting pads and that. It was a bit of a nightmare in jiu-jitsu. And I like it got a week on, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, I'm like, I'm gonna have to get this checked out, like, because his thumb hasn't pinged back normal. So the X-rayed, and they said I've snapped a tendon, and I had to put that stupid, I don't even know what it's called, splinter, I think it's called, this stupid splinter on it to keep it straight. So it was constantly like that, and it eventually built my thumb back to normal, but it took 3 months.
Yeah, so we're all good. Okay, now there hasn't been any after effects.
No, I've sparred, I've stuff like that, and it's all been sound. I was a little bit wary at first when I first come back punching and stuff, but it's absolutely fine now.
Yeah, so in your professional MMA career, you've only got to one decision in your 9 professional fights. Do you always want to be in exciting fights and a kind of a kill or be killed mentality?
That's it, kill or be killed. I don't want to be one of these boring fights that you're thinking, oh, fucking hell, Cameron's fighting. Could be a shit one. This I want it to be like getting Cameron's fighting. What's going to happen here? Do you know what I mean? Like you say, to be fair, the way I fight, it's either them or you. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's the way I'd rather have it. I wouldn't change that for the world. It's an entertaining sport, isn't it? So I'd rather keep the entertainment side to it.
And in your last one against Wooden, it didn't go your way, but Wooden has gone on to do incredible things now in Cage Warriors. He's the champion. But does that put a little bit more fire in your belly because you've lost a champion now? You want to build up and get that eventual rematch.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, it was like he obviously done well. It only lasted a minute, so that killed me. That because I'd just gone full time. I'd been working on a lot of things. I'd been grafting real hard in the gym for months. Just trying to get through a lot of injuries and stuff as well. So it was a nightmare to then build up to that moment to not even get to showcase some skills. And I'm a complete different fighter to like what I used to be as well. And like you say, unfortunately, I didn't get to show that. So but it's good to see that he's gone on. He's won the belt. He's defended it. It softens the blow a little bit, definitely. But it also gives you that fire in that belly to be like, look at your chances there. It's not far away.
What was it that surprised you about Wooden? Was it the power?
No, it wasn't really the power. It was more like how sharp he was. He was very, very sharp. He was. I struggled to sort of get southpaws a lot of the orthodox lads were having to go southpaw. So even just the way he bounced about in the southpaw was a little bit off-putting. But now thinking, he just caught me nice. It was like it was just one of them nights, wasn't it? He just caught me with a nice kick and followed up nice after it.
Yeah, well, MMA is all about ups and downs. Before the fight with you, he was on a 3-fight loss streak. Now he's on the verge, knocking at the door of the UFC. So, you know, MMA can change in a matter of moments. And I guarantee for you, it will change for you, and you'll be back on your way in the win column. But can we guarantee that you'll be back this year and you'll be able to light up once again?
Oh, 100%, 100%. I'm already back in smashing the gym now as if I've sort of got a fight coming up. I know they've got a card on March 18th, so I'm basically just chipping away, getting a little bit of Christmas pudding off now. And just I'm training full time as if I'd be fighting on that card anyway. So like I say, like it's a hard one because I've lost my last 2 fights now. Don't get me wrong, to 2 real good lads, Wooden and Hardwick. But it just like I've still got that motivation, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know that I can go out there and smash it. And I'm going to look to get 3 wins this year at least.
Well, yeah, it'll be fantastic to see, you know, get 3 wins this year. But is it like a lot? Does it give more pressure when you're fighting next? That, you know, you come off the back of 2 losses, or do you thrive under that?
I do feel the pressure off the losses, yeah. But I also use it against me to then train harder as well. So because I have got them, I'm not on a comfortable 6-fight win streak now, which is also unbelievable because you feel on top of the world. But then also being on the 2 loss streak now, that also pushes me harder in the gym as well. Because I'm like, fuck losing again. I can't be having that again. So like them extra rounds, pushing that extra hard on the pads, extra hard on that assault bike. You know, I'm giving it that little bit extra because I've got that in the back of my mind. And then on fight night, I'm quite switched on anyway. Like I don't let much get in my head. Like weigh-ins, no one would be able to get in my head. You can push me, you can do this, you can do that. You can't get in my head. At the end of the day, we're there to fight. I've said yes to fight. I haven't said yes because I don't want to fight. I will fight anyone. I won't say no to anyone. I'll fight anyone. That's what we're in this sport to do. So you can't get in my head at weigh-ins. We're there on the night. It's me or you. Let's have it.
So when you mean get in your head, so you've never had like a real disdain for like a fighter?
Nah. I'm a very nice, chilled out person. Don't get me wrong. If they started giving me stick, I'd love to give a bit of stick back. But I'd see it more as banter me. I've been in the Navy. I shared a mess with 42 other lads who try and rip you day in, day out on a 7-month tour. It's like, do you know what I mean? These little bits of like going on they won't bother me one bit. I've never had it, to be fair, but it doesn't bother me one bit. It doesn't get in my head. You can't.
So you mentioned it, you never had it, so no one's ever came close to getting under your skin.
No, never. Don't get me wrong. I would actually like it if I had a bit of back and forth with someone because I'd find it funny. I'd love the banter of it. Do you know what I mean? But I've just never had that yet. But I would never ever take anything personal at all. You can say what you want about me, anyone. I wouldn't have it personal because then that's when it starts playing with your head as well.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask that the day will come until someone you have a lot of a talker, should we say, likes to talk, likes to run his mouth. You're gonna get that eventually with a fighter. So how are you gonna react then if someone's trying to get under your skin?
Oh, I'd give him shit back, but I'd just make it funny. Do you know what I mean? I'd make it laughable, like like where you see him back and forth on Twitter or whatever and stuff like that. It'd just be funny to me. It wouldn't be personal at all. I'd just have a bit of banter with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and my last question before I let you go is when could we see likely return? You said that you're training as if you got a fight, but when we looking to get back into the cage?
Hopefully March. The card in March. I haven't heard nothing yet. Hopefully I hear something from that. If not, the one straight after that. I'm just going to make sure that I'm ready for whenever, and I can just go for it.
Yeah, are you pushing them? Are you emailing every day? So I want a shot.
I will be, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic, Cameron. A pleasure to have you on. I wish you the best luck in the future, and I hope you get them back on the win column this year. I feel like you got a lot of potential in your career. I feel like the win column is definitely calling you this year, and you'll be set away.
It will be, mate. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Thank you so much, and I wish you to have the best of the rest of your day.
Thank you, mate, and you.
Thank you.